All right, so we are going to practice right now with 3.1, Henry's section. So you already got notes from Henry. And now we're going to put those notes to use. Steve, it helped you. So if you guys can look at, in your book, page 144. Again, pause the video because I do go pretty fast. So yeah, pause the video because I'm going to start right in. Page 144. So get the book open. If you need time to do that, pause it. Okay, I'm going to start in numbers 11 through 16 with you. And there is a picture in your book, so you'll have to look at that picture because I'm not going to have it up here. And I'm not going to redraw it. So let's start with number 11 on page 144. Okay. So it said to use the diagram, name each of the following. Assume that lines and planes that appear to be parallel are parallel. Okay, so number 11, a pair of parallel planes. So I want you to fill in the blank. If I start with plane and I name a plane, let's say I name it JCD, and I'm asking you that is parallel to what plane? So go ahead, try and figure that out. Plane JCD is parallel to what? Okay, I'm going to start in. I would go ahead and I notice I can see the plane that's parallel to it. And now I just have to choose between those 5 letters. And the 3 letters, I'm going to use 3 because 3 were used here. I would associate them with the letters that are used here, the vertices that are used here. So J, I would say, corresponds with E from that plane. C corresponds with L, and D corresponds with H. And that is the lower plane that I was talking about. Okay, let's go to number 12. You're going to name all lines that are parallel to AB. Line AB. What are other lines that are parallel to AB? I will give you a hint. There's only one line that is parallel. And that line is, if you haven't gotten it yet, pause the video, FG. And I would name it FG and not GH just because F corresponds with A and G corresponds with B. All right, number 13. All lines that are parallel to DH, line DH. Again, pause the video if needed, but I'll give you a hint in that there should be 4 lines this time. 4 lines that are parallel to line DH. Okay, I'm going to start it, so if you don't have them yet, pause the video. The parallel lines would be GB, line GB, like that, line JE, line CL, and line FA. Those are all the lines that are parallel to DH. Okay, let's look at 14. 2 lines that are skew to EJ. So hopefully you got from Henry what the definition of skew lines are. Skew means that they are non-coplanar, right? They don't exist on the same plane, and the lines are not parallel with each other, not parallel, and they do not intersect. Whoa, okay, not parallel, not intersect, not on the same plane. Okay, so number 14, you're looking at that, you're trying to figure that out. I'm looking back at what 14 was. 2 lines that are skewed to EJ. Skew to line EJ, and that's a really bad J. But EJ. There are more than 2 lines, but let's say I pick something that starts with an A, and then another line that starts with a B. Can you find 2 lines that would start that way? There would be skew to EJ. EJ, if I start at A, what would be something skewed to EJ? Would it be EF? Or AF? Sorry. No. Because that's on the same plane and it's parallel. Would it be AB or AE? Well, it's not going to be AE because that exists on the same plane as EJ, so it has to be AB. Let's look at something that starts with B. Starting with B, you have options. BA, would that be a line that is skew to EJ? Well, yeah, because we just said it was. So if you say BA, that's actually the same thing as this. So we don't want to list that again. How about BG? EJ and BG would not be skew. Why? Because they're parallel to each other, meaning they exist on the same plane. There is a plane that we can make, even though you don't see it, that would make those two lines parallel. Okay, so your only other option is BH. So BH does not exist on the same plane as EJ, and they are not parallel. They don't intersect. They won't. So it has to be BH. So hopefully you had some brain activity going on in that one, because that one's probably the trickiest one. In number 15, all lines that are parallel to plane JFAE. All lines that are parallel to plane JFAE. And why I'm repeating it is because I am looking at the picture trying to find that plane. Alright, what are some lines that are parallel to it? Well, you have 3 choices. 3 choices on this. First choice would start with a G. Second choice starts with a D. Third choice starts with a C. So go ahead and try it. Pause the video. See if you can get those second letters. First one is going to be GB. That is going to be parallel to the plane JFAE. How about something else? D what? DH. It's going to be parallel to that plane. And then C, would it be CJ? No. Would it be CD? No. So there's only one last option, CL. And I would make sure to put those lines above it. Okay, let's look at number 16. A plane parallel to LH. A plane that is parallel to LH. Okay, you have a choice. I'm going to make your choice. What should I make your choice? Plane. I'm going to say J blah blah. So we're looking at a plane parallel to line LH. So if I choose J, what plane is going to be parallel to line LH? Would the plane JCF work? No, because LH is not parallel to that plane. How about JEA? Are those going to be parallel with LH? No, it's kind of on a diagonal. How about JCD? Would LH be parallel to plane JCD? Yes, it would. Okay, onward. I want to do one other thing. And the other part to this is on page, for some practice here, page 145, numbers 30 through 35. So we have some true-false happening. So let's look at the picture. There's a new picture, and we're going true or false, Sonia. And if false, oh man, they want you to explain. So assume that lines and planes that appear to be parallel are parallel. All right, so number 30. Go ahead and read that to yourself, because if I read it, I mean, you do have to be able to read these things. So see if you know how you would even read that. Okay, let's see if you guys read it correctly. This would be line CB is parallel to line HG. Is that true or false? So looking at the picture, line CB parallel to line HG. That's true. Okay, let's look at 31. Read that. How would you read this? because again, this is mathematical writing. So how would you read this through? Line ED is parallel to line HG. Line ED parallel to line HG. True or false? Well, by looking at that picture, I would say false, but now I have to have a reason. So why aren't they parallel? Because they are, and it's 4 letters, and it's not a bad word. It's a geometry word starting with S. Last letter W, because they are skew. They are not parallel. Okay, let's look at 32. Plane AED is parallel to plane FGH. What are you thinking there? That one's true. So you don't have to come up with a reason. That's exciting. 33. Do you think they gave you another true one? Plane ABH parallel to plane CDF. You know what? That's false. So we get to come up with a reason. Why wouldn't the planes be parallel? Because they are going to be planes. The planes would intersect. And you're like, wait, they don't intersect. But remember, planes are infinite. They keep going and going. So at some point, those two will intersect. So they are not parallel. Okay, number 34. Line AB and line HG are skew. Ew. Lines. AB and HG. So remember, if they're skew, they're non-coplanar. They're not parallel. They do not intersect. That one's true, people. And 35, AE and BC are skew. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you saying? Hopefully you said false. Now you need a reason. Why are they not skew? Because they both exist in the same plane. And what plane is that? Not in a frontier plane. They both exist, that was a joke, in plane A, B, C. Meaning they can't be skew, because skew lines would be non-coplanar, people. Alright, thanks for practicing with me. Done.